Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs podcast, the #1 baseball podcast in the universe. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Some are saying.
People are saying.
The red-hot Chicago Cubs, Luke Stuckmeyer, Ryan Herrera, Cody Delmendo, 3 distinguished panel members, all donning the dope merch of CHGO, which you can get at the CHGO locker, by the way. This is the newest one. That's the red one. That's the Skyline one.
Sign up to be a diehard, you get a free shirt.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. And you get the card and all the good stuff that comes with it, like the 20% off, the dope merch all the time, 20% off all the things that happen here at CHGO. But more importantly, vibe with us.
Absolutely. We're vibing.
4-0. Cubs win. 9 of 11 they have now won. 24 straight shutout innings against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they are creeping closer and closer back to the 500 mark. Cody, I know, is back in. Ryan is a little bit on the fence, but trying to stay, professional about it as a reporter. They've reeled me back in, Cody. You're reeled me back in. The Stro Show has reeled me back in. And really, Tauchman has reeled me back in.
Talk to me.
The Palatine Pounder. Where were you when the Mid-Suburban League saved the Cubs season, is what I tweeted out. Frem's finest.
What was it, the Mid-Suburban League Magician?
Yeah.
We settled on?
Bambino of the Burbs?
Where were you when Tucker Barnhart took the lead and who you got?
I was here at the CHGO studio.
I was
Same. Let's go, baby.
Cody took off his pants and did 3 laps around the building.
Oh, my God.
A lot of people
Everyone
firing in the
wished they would
chat.
have seen that.
Shane says, don't let us start vibing. Too late, Shane.
We are vibing,
Hashtag
baby.
vibe with us. Matt says, will anyone wear shorts? We might all wear
Ryan
shorts.
said he wore shorts last year. I told him to wear shorts today. Last night on last night's show, go back to the recording. And then what's he doing? He's wearing sweatpants.
I feel like wearing sweatpants.
It's like 90 degrees outside,
nice
man.
Shoes on and high white socks. I decided to wear some gray sweats. It's going to be 60s when we get out of here, so it'll feel nice.
I threw on that new CHGO Cubs shirt from the CHGO locker, and I thought, this is a win. This is a win. Another series win against the Pirates. I don't know where we start. Do you start with Stroman? Do you start with Barnhart? Do you start with Tauchman? Or do you start with what everybody really wants, which is the beer bat chug?
No, I think we start we let it
we
warm
got 2
up
of them
too much
tonight,
yesterday.
Explain why there's 2 beer bat chugs.
Because I sat on the couch and I said if Barnhart hits a homer and they win, that I'll do 2. And then what happened? I manifested it unintentionally.
It happened.
All right? Listen. Yes, it is a bit, but I'm just going to ride this as long as I possibly can. So...
you're responsible at least 50% for the Cubs' comeback this season.
People are saying, Stuck. And
for the resurrection of the Cubs season, you get at least 50%
I would just like
credit.
some credit. Give credit where credit is due. I give credit where credit is due. When Madrigal hits a ball to the wall, 96 miles per hour, and it says on StatCast that it would have left 24 ballparks, I give credit where credit is due. It was a great hit. Should have gone out of the ballpark. Would have been out at Wrigley. Good for him. As someone who has criticized him all season. Good for him. Great hit. Tucker Barnhart. No one wants to give him any credit. No one wants to do it. But tonight you have to. And I manifested it. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
So it's going to be a double beer bat chug. Not in a row. I think we're going to let them do the second one, maybe second segment.
Second segment.
Just to calm things down a little bit. But what's not calming down is the live YouTube chat.
Are they vibing?
Our CHGO diehards are vibing tonight. Look at this. We already got 29 likes. Guys, There's 150 of you already watching the show. Hit the like button while you're waiting. If you like Cody's beer bat chugging, hit the like button. If you want to see a second one, hit it again. Palatine Pounder shout out, says Justin Caldero. Thank you. Barnhart, Stroh's personal catcher forever now. That's right. So Cody's going to do the dedication. I'm going to do the sound effects. Let me see if I figured this out.
Oh, man. Hit that like button. We got 48 likes, 151 watching. We can hit 100 before the end of the first segment. I'm just saying. It's possible.
I don't know.
Did you hear it? Can you hear it?
I don't know.
Sorry, I just completely.
I'm doing sound effects. You just talked over my sound effects.
Sorry.
Come on. I'm trying to do special effects.
I don't know if Bragg's going to hear it or not. All right.
I heard it. Don't ever do that again.
Sounded good to me. Take things in my own hands. A lot of people guessing here. Matt says we vibing. Cody Del Shorts. Manecki agrees with me. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of guesses here. Drive Secure thinks 8.7 seconds. Barb, we are live.
We are live, Barb. Definitely live.
Miss Barbara, we are live.
Oh, we're live.
Any other guesses?
The Cubs are alive.
Cody's going to do the first dedication.
The first beer bat is to Tucker Barnhart, because this is going to be one I remember for a long time. Well, in a year from now, when things are probably bad again, and for us to feel good, I'll be like, "Hey guys, remember when Tucker Barnhart hit that homer though? Like, that was fun."
Yeah, and yes, Sean, Jimmy Carter is still alive. All right, here we go. We get the stopwatch ready. When it hits your lips, we start the counter.
All right.
Trying to break 9-2-1. Go. Delmendo already through the big part. The barrel is gone, and he's heading around third. Delmendo, this is a fast one. Oh, my. I got an 8.95.
Hey, that's exactly what I got.
8.95. He broke 9 for the first time ever.
Bragg's forgot to hit stop.
That's all right. That's all right.
Complete chaos for my
if both of us
stopwatch.
had the exact same time, 8.95. That's official. 8.95.
Yes.
First under 9.
I would like to give some credit for once to someone who I don't like to give a lot of credit to, and that's Ryan Herrera. He said something real mean before the show started, and I took it personally.
And you were like, that's it, I'm under 9.
I took it personally, so.
Now, did you listen to what Steven said? Steven gave you advice on the beer bat. He said, if you want to pick up those times, warm the beer up a little bit. Don't take it straight from the fridge. Let it set for a minute or two, couple innings before the game's over.
But now if he did that, it'd feel cheap because he'd been doing it straight out of the fridge.
Well,
so now it's like it's a little cheap, little shortcut that I don't appreciate.
I just want you to know, Cody, that I failed you with the stopwatch. When you set your world record right there, I failed you, and it's big of me.
We both
in the words of a wise man, it's big of me to admit that.
Right, Bragg's big of you to admit. Credit to you, man. Credit to you.
It was right. Did anybody at home chug against you is what I want to know. I want to see the video of somebody chugging against you. And if you didn't, you still have another chance in the second segment because Cody has promised us
2
double beer bats. Double beer bats.
And if you're just joining it, again, it is because I sat on the couch and I said, if Barnhart hits a homer and they win tonight, I'll do 2.
And the chat's already ready to get Joey back and get me out of here.
Barb said vote the timekeeper bum of the week.
Craig agrees. Warm beer is much easier to chug.
I will say, so we started with the beer bat. The other options were Stroman and Barnhart. I think you have to start with Stroman as far as talking about
I do
game,
too. Man. I mean, he was listen, as far as who you got goes, we can't pick pitchers anymore. Stroman has been everything you could possibly want. And every time he goes out and pitches like this, it's only good for the Cubs. Even if the worst case scenario happens, they're not extending him and they do the unthinkable at the trade deadline. This is still great for the Cubs. But even better is that he's got them back in this division race. Are they good enough to win the division? They might be. The way they're playing right now, yes, they would be. Stroman, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. His ERA down to 2.28, best in the National League. That is 7 straight quality starts.
Yeah, he's
the best pitcher in Chicago.
Yeah, he's arguably the best pitcher in the National League. He's arguably the best pitcher in the majors right now. Like, he's
Look at Stuck.
Look at Steven saying no back there. What's Dylan Cease's ERA? It's over 4. Oh, okay. So it's not as good as 2.28.
I mean,
2.28.
So Steven
I said right now, who's the best pitcher?
Anyway, no, Stroman has
show.
The results have shown that Stroman is one of the, if not best pitchers in the majors, like this season. The results, I mean, he's been everything the Cubs could have asked, and there's like, now he's pitching lights out at a time when the rest of the Cubs, like, the offense has woken up a little bit, the bullpen's pitching fine, the defense is there, like, but he's been doing this all year. I saved 2 starts. 2 of his 16 starts haven't been as good as the rest of them because the rest of them were all quality starts. This is exactly what the Cubs were hoping they could get, maybe even more than what they were hoping they could get when they signed him going into 2022. Now you have him pitching at a Cy Young level, and you think about that month of May and how just down of a month that was for the Cubs, but it felt like every time he went out to the mound, even during that stretch, like he was the stopper. He was the guy that still was, the Cubs could lose every other game in that rotation, but when Stroman goes out there, like, you feel good about the Cubs having a chance to win. And, especially like that start against the Rays, the 9 shutout innings, like the one hitter, like that was the epitome of what Stroman has been able to do for the Cubs this season. Even when they're having their downs, they can throw Stroman on the bump and he can lead them. He can put them on his back and lead them to a win. That's more than the Cubs could have asked for Marcus Stroman when they signed him. Like, he's not doing it by blowing fastballs by guys or the craziest, nastiest stuff. He's doing it by pitching like Marcus Stroman pitches. I think he had like another 50-some% ground ball rate today. Like, that's Marcus Stroman to a T, is get guys on the ground, let your defense work its magic, whether it's Dansby or Nico. Madrigal's played fine defense. Bellinger over there at first base is a good defender. Like, Stroman does it by getting guys to hit balls on the ground, hit it at his guys, and just gets outs that way. And I know that last inning was a struggle for him to get through that 7th. He got through it. He made the pitch that he needed to get out of it, and it ended up being another really good Stroman start. It was just like, it's to a point where you come to like expect it, which is kind of crazy to say.
For sure you do. And like, Cody, you look at this, and we said going into this season, Dansby and Nico up the middle, and at that time we said Bellinger in center. Right now it's been Tauchman in center, but he's been great too. We said that defense up the middle and going defensive-minded catcher.
Yeah.
Give Barnhart credit for some of this. Like, he's his personal catcher.
Basically.
You can't just say he has no impact on this.
Yeah.
I think Stroman would tell you he does. But so we said the defense was going to should make Stroman better this season. But 14 quality starts before the All-Star game already? Dare I say, right now, he's in the Cy Young hunt. I know it's early, but he's in it.
Absolutely. He's right there with Spencer Strider from the Braves. As far as Barnhart, I mean, there was one strikeout that I think he got in that last inning that I want to say, I can't remember who it was, but he got him looking, and it was on the umpire, got the wrong call. It was the wrong call, but it's a great frame job by Barnhart. So, listen, all jokes aside about taking Barnhart for who you got, like, for him to hit the homer tonight to give them the lead, it definitely helped. And whenever we've seen it many times this year, whenever the Cubs are able to score early for their starting pitchers, it certainly helps them moving further into the game. And when Stroh had those, the last inning he had that were he threw 20 plus pitches in the last inning. He really, he walked his one batter that inning, and it felt like things were teeter-tottering between like going either right or going bad. Like, I think it was Mitchell who he hit the foul ball that was inches away from being a homer. It looked like, at least.
Yeah, on the left field line.
Right. Like, he's just finding a way to get it done, and all the credit to him. He's doing it in an opt-out year. Like, I read that however you want to read it, but this is what we expected from this is basically what we expected from Stroman. Maybe a little bit more than what we expected.
I think that's
he ended up having 5 strikeouts tonight. Like, it's not like he's going out there and striking out 10 guys a game or anything, but because of how the Cubs are set up, the guy gets a lot of ground balls, and they have a really good up the middle defense that helps. And they have a Gold Glove outfielder in left, and they got a guy who was a Gold Glove caliber right fielder in Japan. And Bellinger's been great at first. You know what I mean? I know this is probably, I think, his first or second start where Bellinger's been at first. But either way, like, they have a good defense on more days often than not. They've had some games where they've had some clunkers, and you're like, this is supposed to be a good defense. But more often than not, you see the defense show up every day for this team. And I'm not taking anything away from Stro, but it certainly helps that he has that. Because I will say, last year, especially in the first half of the year, there were some games where I felt like, man, that start could have been better if the defense didn't let him down, stuff like that. And you could have said that about a lot of guys last year. Cubs helped fix their defense a little bit, and you've seen good starting pitching this year. The starting pitching has been as consistent as anything on this team all year. So, yeah.
Without Tyone having a good first half of the season.
And the thing is that Tyone has the highest velocity of any of them.
And with Wesneski spending time at AAA.
Yeah.
And then coming back, like, it's the old guys.
Right.
It's the OGs that are getting it done.
Yeah. So, again, this was a great start for Stro, and the Cubs needed to get this win. And after winning last night, I don't want to even say it's greedy, but I was thinking they got to sweep now, because to get the first game of the series, it would be a disappointment to not sweep, considering who they had coming up, which was tonight Stroman and Hendricks, who has been great the last 2 starts and seems to be back to his old self, right? So Stro did not disappoint tonight. He came out and did what Cy Young caliber pitchers do. He came out in 8 innings for you, got outs, and had his pitch count low. He went 7 innings. Like, that, again, that is all that we could have – he is everything that we could have asked for this year. Everything and more, probably.
Corey with a super chat, $5, saying they should only trade Stroman if somebody gives up a ransom like the Reds got for Luis Castillo. And
why are we talking about this?
only if you're considering that they're totally out of it.
Yeah.
Like, if they're in it, I don't see any scenario where
they were to trade
if they're in
Stro
it,
and they're
trading
in
Stroman
it.
would be
catastrophic.
it would not be a good look.
Catastrophic.
It would be an
if you're in
awful
it.
look.
I know it. I know. I'm not saying this is a World Series team, but if you have a shot to make the postseason,
Yeah.
and you're trying to build a franchise with young guys coming up in the future, you can't trade him.
Postseason experience means something. You know what I mean? No one thought that team in 2015 was going to go to the playoffs. Everyone thought that team was going to win 80 games. And that team ended up winning 98. They go to the playoffs. The big wild card game was all those guys credit that game and then going on and beating the Cardinals in that series they credited all that experience into propelling to what happened in 2016. So I'm not saying that this team is going to do anything like 2015, but the landscape or the blueprint of trying to get some playoff experience on a team like this that has a lot of young players in it, with young players coming up as well. Like, again, it's June. I understand him sending that comment because, like, it's still a talking point, and we're still under 500.
The Cubs are still not out of the woods. As far as
yeah,
trade
they
deadline
still
goes.
have
they're
a
still
lot
under
to do.
500.
But
Yeah.
right now, they've
3
won
games
9
under
of
500?
11. They've won 9 of
3,
11.
right?
They were 10 games under 500 a few weeks ago. Like, they're
in third place.
They're en route to clawing themselves out of the hole they dug.
They're in third place.
And they are in third place. They hopped the Pirates tonight. The Reds just won, unfortunately. So I believe it's 3 or 3.5.
They had the worst record in
the National
League
for a little bit there,
for like
yeah.
a day or two.
and then
Like 3
Joey
right before the
left,
race series.
and then Bragg started
Bragg's
producing.
brick by brick started
Bragg.
taking
Now we've
over.
won 9 and 11. I may not get the clock right, but
He just manifested wins. All right.
I do. Like,
big of me to take
Big
the
of you.
credit
Big
of
of you.
this.
I do appreciate the 15 comparison, and I'm going to say the same thing. Like, I don't think this team has 97 win type stuff in them like that 2015 team did. However, one thing that really helped that team just kind of make that second half push was the one pitcher that they could throw out there every 5 days and knowing he could put the team on his back and lead them to a win. That was Jake Arrieta at the time. Like that's what Stroman has been for this
So
group
it's
right
stro by
now.
stro is what you're saying,
Apparently,
or talk by talk.
It wasn't my words, but I maybe. But that's what I'm saying is like Stroman he's not like at the Jake Arrieta's run in that second half was like some of the best pitching you'll ever see. But like if Stroman can just be that guy, the Cubs know they can rely on every 5 days to really put them in a position to win. And he's going to go out there, he's going to give them 6 or 7 strong innings. Like they're going to take that because where the team is at right now, if they can get there above 500, still in the hunt around mid-July-ish, that might actually put them into a spot where they probably won't buy to a large extent, but they won't sell. Yeah. And I think that's what Cubs fans are hoping for at this point in time is like, just don't sell off your best trade chips again. Like give this team a chance to actually win a very winnable division.
The updated standings in the Central, the Cubs are still the only team that has a win or a run differential?
Run differential.
Yeah, they're the only one with a positive one, despite the Reds winning 10 in a row tonight.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that suggests, and I'm not a numbers guy, that does suggest that the Reds will come back to reality. Now, they've also added Joey Votto and some young guys, so maybe not.
The Reds pitching is the only thing that I'm like concerned. And they just put Hunter Green on the IL, a guy who we've sat here and talked about like we'd take him.
They should also be a franchise that should be able to add at the deadline too, right?
But Milwaukee they've lost 7 of 10. Pittsburgh has lost 9 of 10. Have a chance to make it 10 of 11 tomorrow. The Cardinals they're playing the Nationals and they've won the first 2 games of that series, but the Cubs and the Reds are the hottest team in the Central right now. They might arguably be the hottest teams in baseball, or at least the National League. So the Cubs have to maintain pace with the Reds. I need the Reds to finally lose a game. But the Cubs need to win tomorrow and maintain pace. And
sweep them again.
And have really good momentum going to London to play a team that at least the last few days has won some games. And either way, when the Cubs and the Cardinals get together, it's always close. It's always competitive.
We have seen people in the chat saying they're worried about Dansby Swanson, who's supposed to get x-rays because the wrist is swelling after the game.
From Taylor McGregor, #Cubs, Dansby Swanson getting x-rays on his wrist. It's a little swollen right now. That was like 20 minutes ago. He didn't come out of the game, right?
He did not, no.
I wonder exactly
No, but that's obviously concerning. He's, there's a handful of guys on the team that they cannot afford to lose for any amount of time. Dansby is obviously one of them.
Yeah.
Bellinger was one of them. You saw how badly they missed him for a little while until Tauchman came in and started to fill the void a little bit. But obviously Dansby's one that they can't afford to lose. Gary's already assuming, listen, if he's getting an x-ray tonight, he's probably not playing a matinee tomorrow. So who you got, Morel at second and Nico at short? Or is it the other way around? Nico just staying at second?
I think it'd be Nico over to short, Morel at second.
I would agree.
I think that's having Nico and what he did last year at shortstop gives them I think that makes them comfortable enough to sit Dansby if he needs it. I don't know exactly.
If he'll let them.
Was there?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Well,
I didn't see anything during the game that
I'm surprised he's getting X-rays after, because he got hit by that pitch pretty early in the game.
Yeah, right.
He had a couple more at bats.
They're saying it started swelling up after the game.
Yeah, so I was gonna say because even later in the game there was really nothing about it.
Maybe took the wrap off it or something.
Yeah, maybe that could have been it. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. It was nothing later on in the game that gave me the impression that there was really something going wrong enough to get X-rays, but
obviously that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I did notice, I didn't catch who said it in the chat, but saying, hey, can we say anybody out there that says prayer, say a prayer for the people that got hit by a car outside, guaranteed rate.
Yeah.
Tonight at the Sox game.
From Fernando.
Fernando, you're right, Fernando. Terrible what happened. And so, is there a Cubs-Sox rivalry? Not when it comes to that. Right. Not when it comes to something serious like that. So, good point, Fernando, and well taken.
Can I read you some Marcus Stroman tweets? All right.
Oh, yeah, I saw he's already tweeted after the game.
Yeah,
he already hit social media.
3 tweets. Dansby and Nico are the best up-the-middle tandem in the league. Tauchman is elite. W. On to the next one at Cubs.
Tauchman is elite.
Tauchman
See?
is elite.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe he's trying to place his vote
No,
for who
no,
you got
no,
tonight.
don't
Maybe
spin
the
zone
Stro
it.
Show's trying to have the deciding vote in who you got tonight. Basically, he just said, my guy is elite.
Well, he says
Interesting.
He does say that he does praise Barnhart every time.
But not,
in
he
his
didn't
post
after
game.
the game.
Well, at
Well,
least
he
then on
maybe- he-
Twitter he
I
has.
actually did, but
You did. Yeah.
He may be talking about it right now as we speak.
anyway, we'll talk Tauchman and Barnhart in a second, but I do want to tell you about something that's very important. Number one, Cody will be doing a second beer bat from Goose Island tonight because he said if the Cubs win and Barnhart homers, he'll double beer bat it. Well, pay up, buddy. So one down, a personal best under 9 seconds on the first one. We'll see how that impacts second time through the order. Usually a little bit trickier for Mr. Delmendo. Goose Island Beer
That's always to
Company,
say.
the official beer of CHGO. Chicago's beer since 1988. The beer roster, the Goose IPA, the Tropical Beer Hug, the 3-1-2 Wheat Ale, which Cody started doing that with the beer bats. Then he started flipping over to the full pocket Pilsner. Now he's back to the 3-1-2, and it was a personal best first time around. Grab ultra fresh brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. So we're going to get another beer bat. Oh, thank you, Braggs. Got another pour. Look at this. No foam, no head at all. This is a perfect pour by Delmendo. He's really sort of mastered the beer bat pour. I got to
taking
give
his
him credit
time.
for that. While you're at it,
Well, I accidentally kind of spilled some on my foot.
while we're waiting for the second dedication here for the second beer bat, notice our set has some cool stuff from Foco. Our friends at Foco. Look at that Hayden Wesneski bobblehead right there. Slick. You've seen our Clark the Cub bobblehead. Very nice. Get fitted out with the best sports gear around.
Somewhere.
Hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, everything in
right
between.
there? The Wesneski.
It's baseball
the
season.
Clark.
That means Aloha shirts from Mr. Herrera, straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need for a game.
Right there.
Our set decorations have never looked better thanks to our friends at Foco. Check out Foco.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO. We'll hook you up with 10% off at Foco. All right.
All right. We
Dedication
got a super
time.
chat.
Oh, yeah. Let's hit that.
$1.99. Bragg's a man of many talents. Bragg's greater than sign Carm.
Better than Carm. Bigger than Carm. Better than Carm.
Big
Mariano.
of
Smarter than
Mariano
Carm.
to say that. Big of him. Credit to him. Sorry, Carm.
Rise and
I would like to
shine.
agree as well.
Rise and shine, Carm.
Next thing you know, all of Bears Twitter is going to be coming into the chat.
Listen, once Carm stops singing, I'll make the comparison. But if he continues to sing at Bears events, I can't even make the comparison. Fernando's calling 8.57 on the second chug. No pressure,
I'm hoping
Cody.
to stay, like,
Barb says,
under
wait a
two
minute.
digits."
I'm a professional at this. 10.8 on the second one. Barb's like, the second one's never that easy.
Yeah. All right. This beer bat, the second beer bat of the night, is just to the Chicago Cubs because we won 9-11 and we're vibing, baby.
What about the
It's just
Palatine Pounder?
I said the Chicago Cubs, just everyone.
Boy, it's
The
really
team win. I did Tauchman yesterday.
like he doesn't deserve another one tonight. All right, Tyler says 9-2. Brian says 11-2-4. Sean always thinks you're going to get it in 6-9.
I mean, I appreciate trying
too
to
fast for
manifest
Cody.
it. Come on.
Garrett's calling somebody a coward. He says 8-6, you coward. Foreign Empire doesn't have faith in the second one, calling 13-7-6.
Luke and I
Ben
both
also
got
thinks
8-9.
6-9.
That was kind of wild. We both got
8-9-5.
8-9-5. That was crazy.
8-9-5. You going to time this one too?
Well, you're not on the
Oh,
stopwatch.
thank
Hold
you.
on.
Thank you. Hold on.
He was on the alarm.
I was on the alarm. I was going to set my alarm for the night.
All right.
I'm going to do this beer bet, and then Gary is pointing out some possible
Yeah.
big news that we need to
Oh,
discuss.
I don't like that.
Yep.
So
Let's get the vibes
let's
high
do
with the
the
beer
good
bat,
vibes.
and then
let's get the vibes as high as we can for this. Okay. All right, here we go.
when it hits his lips, go. Oh, I got a late start, a half-second start, I think.
I think I was pretty good. on my
Delmendo, almost through the barrel on the second beer bat chug. He's around third, heading for home. The play at the plate. Boom.
Got 11.35.
I got 11.29, and I was just a split second late, so Greg stopped early. You're probably right, 11.35.
I juiced it a little for
11.35. 11.35
on the first clock.
Barb said, is Cody asking for a contract extension?
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Richter wants
Spill
a beer bat
inside.
race. 9 seconds flat, Maneki.
So
Gary, what are you saying to us?
Should we just get
Cody
to
Heuer,
Gary's?
apparently.
So Gary pointed out on Twitter, this is in the last couple minutes, both Alex Cohen and Tommy Birch tweeting that Cody Heuer came out of
The Iowa game.
Iowa Cubs game. Tommy Birch, Cody Heuer airmails a pitch over a Memphis hitter and goes to the ground in pain. Follow-up tweet. Cody Heuer coming out of the game. David Bodie, who was out at shortstop, was visibly distraught watching Heuer hobble around in pain. Very tough to see it unfold. Alex Cohen said Cody Heuer exits after 3 pitches tonight. Doesn't look great.
Hobble around, does
Right
that mean
now.
this is not the arm? I would assume the
it looks
pitch
like he's
sail.
just kind of, well, here
You can
we
see
have
it?
from Brad on Twitter. Airmails it over, and he's just kind of
no.
jumping around. Something.
You want to send that to
Oh,
the Slack
no.
so Braggs can put it up?
Well, it's.
Or
I don't
can we
think
not do
can.
that?
think
I
we
don't
can
know.
do
It's
that.
minor league, so I didn't know if we can do that
I
or not.
wouldn't risk it.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah, so it looks like he.
Wow, that's a
set-
buzz killed after a great game by the Cubs.
Definitely a setback for
I mean,
Cody Heuer.
Dansby is a concern.
Yeah.
Heuer, that's wow. That's a guy coming back from Tommy John surgery, fighting to get back. Already had the velocity back, and just waiting for him to get the command down.
Yeah, that's definitely an arm. I'm watching the video right now.
Yeah, whatever. It's just not good. The reaction's not good. Obviously, David Bodie knows what's going on.
I think, and it's like a weird thing to say right now, but like, I didn't want to say it. I was going to say something
Just
like,
wait. We'll just wait. We'll just wait, but it doesn't look good.
yeah, I'm not even going to say it, but yeah, that's obviously until we get like clear news on what exactly is going on with Heuer, like
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
didn't look great. He was clearly in pain after that pitch got away from him. We won't have a update, I don't think, for a little bit, but yeah, it doesn't look great for Cody Heuer, and that's disappointing considering the last year plus of him, the Tommy John surgery, all the long recovery. And this was kind of getting to he was eligible to come off like right around Memorial Day. I think it was the 29th of May was the day he was able to come off.
Man, that's a guy you're pulling for.
And it was a few weeks where you were kind of like, Jed and David Ross both talked about, Cody Heuer kind of wanting to stay down there and just until he gets the command right and kind of feels like himself. And that's why he hadn't come up yet. And, I guess fortunately, in a sense, the bullpen has been rebounding and been pitching better, and that allowed Cody Heuer to stay in the minor leagues and kind of just keep working on what he needed to work on and get to a better place. But yeah, that's very disappointing news for a guy that has. We don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know.
No,
I don't want
we'll
to
probably have an
speculate.
update, but I mean, you watch the video and make up your own mind.
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate on.
Just say it's not whatever it is.
It didn't look great right there on the video.
Obviously not good.
I won't
There's
speculate.
no
on
good
what-
outcome from that.
I won't speculate on the injury, but just any kind of setback is disappointing
Sure.
for a guy who hasn't pitched in so long.
Any sort of pain for a guy that's coming back from pain that drops him to his knees, not good.
Yeah.
Not good. So hopefully something good can come out of that.
It reminds me of Ethan Roberts last year. So
Yeah, that's tough to watch.
we know what Ethan Roberts is also recovering from. So.
All right, let's talk a couple positive things again. Let's try to get the vibes back on track. Kyle Hendricks against Rich Hill tomorrow. Will one of them hit 90 miles an hour?
Rich Hill probably will.
I don't know.
so.
I don't know about that.
What's he touching at normally?
He might
Is
be
he
right
the same?
about the same.
89?
Like he's a slow.
I know he's
curveball.
slow, but like I don't know.
Oh, I mean, 90's not even fast anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Hendricks just did that one hitter without throwing 90 once.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, Rich Hill's, all we need is Jamie Moyer to come in and get the relief performance for one of the two of them.
Rich Hill's hitting 88 on average this four-seam. Maybe he gets a little.
Maybe
Maybe it gets a
Does
little.
anybody get
adrenaline
to
above those
92?
pitches.
Almost no shot.
No, I
Almost no shot.
no shot.
That'll
Cody would
be a
have-
fun pitching performance to watch.
Cody would have to do two beer bats again if anyone hits 92.
Somebody
I
hits
disagree.
if somebody hits 90, somebody hits 95. Cody does a keg stand.
There you go.
We'll go right to
No.
Goose Island and just get a keg stand it right here. We could, on one thought on the beer bat is, if the Cubs were to clinch a postseason position at some point this season, maybe we get naked guy across the street to set up a beer bong all the way from his balcony, all the way across the street into the studio. That would be something.
That would be incredible content, to be honest.
That would be great content. Glad I just thought of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, Hendricks against Hill tomorrow, and then more good vibes. Yeah, they're saying Rich Hill touching 90 with his age.
Dang. Well, he's like 43, right?
Yeah. Oldest guy in baseball, I think, right?
One of them. Yeah.
I think Rich Hill's the oldest player
I
in
believe it,
majors
if
this
you-
year.
Yeah.
Before the game this afternoon, even more vibes as Cody got his first look at the new DraftKings Sportsbook attached to Wrigley Field. I saw it from inside the ballpark Friday, and I thought it was actually open because people were milling around, the lights were on. But then when I got a closer look, you could tell it was just people checking out machines and equipment and test runs and stuff.
Yeah.
But next homestand, boom, it's open. You say you won't be able to place a bet
Yeah. So this is like,
unless you're using your phone.
Yeah. So they have to go through this like licensing thing. Like they have to get the proof for that. So basically, when it opens next week, it's basically like a bar / restaurant because they're gonna have food and all that. But like it's just a place to go and watch sports. Like that's honestly what it is. So
Some
We got
good
on the
picks.
screen right here.
yeah, we got what is it?
2,000
2,000
square foot
feet.
video wall.
Which is will probably just be games on games on games, right? Then the bar with the restaurant, obviously, 17,000 square feet of space.
Wow.
And a semi-private space that seats 25. And I believe this
So
is
that's
the
like
one.
17 of your apartments.
Yeah.
That's
So
a lot of
I
space.
believe, and I credit to our good friend Brian Smith from Bleacher Nation. He told me over the last few months they've been letting people go on the roof.
Really?
Yeah, and you enter it from inside Wrigley Field. So
Oh, so you can
I've
continue
never-
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. From I was that
So-
right field corner, that like patio, and now that I think about it, I think there is a walkway
there's
over there.
There's a vending spot to like
Yeah.
get a drink and stuff, but it's not really like, it's just like
Yeah,
everywhere.
but now
else in
we're saying
Wrigley.
there's a connection.
I've
to
never
the
been,
top
so I don't
of-
know what. Like
Yeah,
I've never
it's
been
just a place to
up
grab
it.
a beer or whatever, but you can be on the roof of it.
And I'm sure that when it opens, they might do more up there too. Like I would be surprised if they don't.
What food do they got there?
We got
Oh wait,
On
we
the
have
screen.
info
Look at
here.
that.
prime
Bragg so
rib
quick with-
and house smoked pastrami sandwiches.
That's
and-
how smoked pastrami.
yeah. Thank you.
Strammy.
Pastrami.
So
Prime ribs.
I don't remember who tweeted these pictures, but thanks to him because it was probably my favorite part of the day because I was like, the moment I saw it, I was like, I am going to be here every college football Saturday and every NFL Sunday when baseball season
So is that prime rib or is that like a French dip made with prime rib?
I don't know.
Probably a French dip
Yeah.
because I like a good French dip.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, as we've seen, as we've been outside it plenty, like, the outside looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing the inside in person, but from the pictures, it looks like a cool spot to go hang out at. And I assume it's going to be just like how the FanDuel Sportsbook is at the United Center, where it's really like, yeah, it's part of Wrigley Field, or yeah, the FanDuel Sportsbook's part of United Center, but from my experience at the FanDuel Sportsbook at the United Center, everything's a little bit cheaper at the FanDuel Sportsbook than it is any of the other vendors at the United Center. So I'm hoping that maybe the beer is cheaper inside the DraftKings Sportsbook than inside beautiful historic Wrigley Field.
Yeah, the guy that had those pictures and information, Danny Burke. So shout
Danny
out to
Burke.
him.
Danny
Thank you.
Burke. Thanks,
Thank
Danny
you.
Burke. Danny Burke, thanks for the pictures, Danny Burke.
Danny Burke, thank you.
Danny.
Danny Burke.
What's that from? Danny. Caddyshack. Come on.
No.
You're talking to young bucks. You're
Danny.
talking to young bucks, okay?
Danny.
Yeah, never.
You've never seen
I've never seen
Caddyshack, right?
Caddyshack.
Maybe a long time
You've
ago.
never seen Caddyshack?
No.
Maybe a long time ago.
Happy
but not.
Gilmore,
Yeah.
a real golf movie.
We need to have a caddy like movie night here. Like take a night off where nobody does a podcast and watch certain sports movies. Like, guys, come on. Caddyshack?
You know,
Barb can't believe it.
Barb
Barb's
can't
ready
believe
to
it.
boycott the podcast.
Yeah, but you know what, Barb? My issue with Barb is she keeps telling Cody he's on steroids, but she's never said anything about me. And I work out.
Are you saying
Like,
that I don't
live.
work out?
Well, no, I'm not saying like she never gives me compliments on looking bigger on a typical day. You know,
Yeah.
I never get that.
Dylan
But-
says now I sound like Carm. I mean, it's a classic movie. I mean, I've seen Gone with the Wind too.
Barb would come watch Caddyshack with us and be like, "Is this live?"
Is that Bill Murray today? It is not.
How did we get on Caddyshack? Oh,
Danny?
the
'Cause
sports
of-
book, the
yeah,
sports
the
book thing. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll take one of these. I'll take 6 of those. I'll
So-
take 4 of these. 3 of those naked lady
So it
tees.
opens next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
But
The
no,
the 27th.
27.
but no in-person sports gambling.
Yeah,
Is
you,
the-
like you can go and like it's again until their licensing is like official. It's basically just a bar and a restaurant,
But a cool one.
but it's a cool one, yeah. And,
And I don't
you know
know
how
why-
much we love DraftKings, so
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly. Shout out to DraftKings.
That's right, Alex.
maybe
And I
just
don't-
maybe.
I'm not
we
really
can do
with the
stuff
crowd of Cub fans that don't like it. I'm excited for it. I mean, before it was DraftKings Sportsbook. It was Captain Morgan's club, and
Yes.
we always would congregate over there after a game. So
And
I'd much
it
rather
was-
have a
come
nicer
on.
spot than
The
that.
Captain Morgan. I like Captain Morgan, the beverage. That club was a dump.
Right.
A dump.
Yeah.
I went there before the NLCS against the Dodgers, and it's just like they've got you like it's like your old mom's house, and she's got a card table up. They used to call them like, I mean, it was complete garbage. This is a nice new, updated, and it's not in the ballpark. It's just attached to it, guys.
I'm with you, Braggs. Like I think it's the dumbest thing that a lot of Cubs fans like hate it, and it's only because they already don't like ownership, and like that's fine. Like I'm not going to tell you to like ownership or not, but like I do think it's cool, and we're in an age where sports betting has become huge. There was one person at Cubs convention this year that like whenever the Ricketts did like their panel, whatever, that they like asked about it or they complained about how it like is ruining like its its historic look or whatever. Give me a goddamn break, bro. Like, that's all I got to say to you. I almost stood up and told her that myself, but then I remembered I'm here working. So big of me, credit to me. I got a lot of integrity here. Yes, it's a biased opinion that I think this, but listen, just get over it. There are so many worse things.
But and Sean's like, love you guys, but I hate sports betting. I'm not really a big better either.
Same.
But I'm all for another place at Wrigley Field that might have good food and a place to go so everybody's not packed into one spot.
Early in the season, when the NBA playoffs are going on, I love to go to a Cubs game while like there's a huge NBA playoff game going on.
Yeah.
You can go in there, watch the game, go pop in, watch the Cubs.
Next year from Winterland, when I dress up as Santa Claus again and we go ice skating, afterwards, now you can go somewhere, watch a sporting event and bet on it. If you want to, or you can just go eat some food.
It just looks like a cool spot to where I'm going to spend a lot of time watching college football or the NFL this fall / winter. Like the way that it's all set up and everything. So, again, I'm not saying that like if you don't like sports betting, you need to, stop. Or I'm just saying that like there are people who do, and so like it's okay to like it. You know what I mean?
I just don't think it necessarily has to even be all about gambling. I just
No.
think if they have good food, if the food's what I just saw there, if that food is good and it's better than some of the places you can buy food around the ballpark, I'll be in there.
Again, like
Well,
if it's like FanDuel's at United Center, price is probably cheaper than what you get in the ballpark too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, because they're trying to get you in there to do a little gambling.
The thing is,
Makes sense.
if it was all about gambling, which I mean, it's a sports book eventually, right? But like if it was
just
solely
slot
about the
machines and you
gambling,
were like,
if it was solely about the gambling, they wouldn't be opening it right now. They'd be waiting until they have their license to be a sports book. They're opening it up. People can check it out, and like it could be a cool place just to go watch a bunch of games, right? Watch the Cubs game, but you got all these other games on TV, good food. Like you said, it could just be like another type of sports bar in the neighborhood that people like to go to.
Yeah,
Nick says they say it will, but they said the same for Marquez about helping money be raised for the team and to get more players.
And they said that at Cubs convention too. And like, listen, when it comes to that kind of thing, like I hear you, and I'm not even like disagreeing with you. I'm saying from my own personal opinion, like I know that I'm gonna have a good time there, so
right.
I am not complaining about it.
Do these fans remember when the Tribune Company owned this team?
They've never seen Caddyshack. They don't remember the Tribune Company.
I'm not saying the
owning
Ricketts
team.
are perfect, but like we've had worse days as Cub fans and what the ownership is putting into the team.
Absolutely agree, Bryce.
What if we call it the DraftKings Ohtani Lounge next year? You'll change your mind.
Yeah, now you're speaking my language.
Don't tease me with a good time.
I guarantee what they've got at that DraftKings Sportsbook. ComEd energy efficient lights. Let me tell you.
I bet those lights are real bright.
The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve help manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future, Cody.
Yeah, ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across the territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, like for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes.
Well, you've piqued my interest. How does it work?
Well, Luke, let me tell you, an authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects that they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback. If you own a business, don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, Luke, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
Did you say ComEd.com/poweringbiz?
Yeah, Luke, schedule it today.
I will.
And while you go online and schedule your ComEd stuff at ComEd.com/poweringbiz, once you're done with that, go to Shady Rays. Go check out Shady Rays. Use code. We love Shady Rays here, man. There's still
I love
that.
Shady Rays.
I love
Now
Shady Rays.
you devastated to lose a pair, but
put
we
my
know you're
Shady
going to be
Rays
taken
on.
care of.
I already got more coming.
I'm going to put my Shady Rays on so I can avoid reading all the mean sports betting comments, all right?
I already got more coming. I gotta reach out to Shady Rays and let them know that I broke my shades. You use that, get them replaced. But
What were you doing? Whitewater rafting? Or
Is that what it's called?
lazy river?
It's
Connecting the coolers between the tubes?
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah, you were the lazy river.
Down
then,
in San Antonio,
Yeah.
little river thing.
I was going to say, you weren't whitewater rafting. You were just tubing.
Yeah, get flipped over.
Down the
All of a
river.
sudden, get flipped over in the river, and then all of a sudden the Shady Rays are broken, and broke my heart a little bit. Almost
Wow, yeah.
brought a tear to my eye. But let me tell you about Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures is what you get with Shady Rays. And that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much-needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. From building playsets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime, Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people, including me.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I love my Shady Rays, and I've got another pair coming too. Barb says, please stay out of the Chicago River. It's polluted.
Not that river.
No, Barb. He was not tubing in the Chicago River. He was probably the Guadalupe River, which is certainly cleaner than the Chicago River. Although I did get mono once from the Chicago River. Becky says, tomorrow is the first day of summer. That is true, Becky. And it is, however, it is not the first day of the summer of Tauchman. That started weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The summer of Mike Tauchman started about 2 weeks ago.
I'm still trying to like understand and like digest that I am experiencing the summer of Mike Tauchman.
We got the nicknames. There's our nicknames. Which one do you like there, by
in
the
10
way?
years, we'll be asking ourselves,
Where were you
where were you
when Tauchman saved the Cubs?
Yeah, when the summer of Mike Tauchman, like, because
Move over
there
Henry
will be some
Rowengartner.
random stat. There'll be some random stat that they put up on Marquee or whatever the hell we're watching the
Yeah.
Cubs on by then, and they'll have Mike Tauchman's name on it, and then you'll be thinking, man, where was I for the summer of Mike Tauchman? Right?
You know what'll happen? There'll be some jackass doing some show like Beer Money being like, what number did Mike Tauchman wear for the Chicago Cubs
Wilson
when he
Contreras' old
saved the
number.
season?
I have another nickname to add to the
What do we got?
the natural of the Northwest suburbs.
The natural of the Northwest suburbs.
There we go.
I'm starting, the Palatine Pounder obviously sticks.
Yep.
The Frem Phenom, I think, is a great one we came up with, mostly because it was mine. I also like the Bradley Bopper, also because it was mine.
I
And
said that.
you had the Bambino, didn't
I
you?
said Bopper too.
You said Bopper.
I said Bopper, but
Yeah.
not Bradley.
I didn't really have any contributions to this. I just listed the ones you guys named off. Like
Arlington
again,
Heights
man of
Animal,
integrity, not
That was
taking
you.
Sultan
shares.
of the Suburbs, the Bambino of the Burbs has a little ring to it.
There's some good ones there.
The Bambino of the Burbs. That's what we
Bambino.
used tonight when we tweeted the video of his home run.
Still
we'll
is
see,
not
we'll
a
see
great-
if any actually catch on.
Yeah.
Still have not been able to ask him about that Egg Harbor Cafe brunch idea, though. What if we could get a CHGO event? This is an idea for an event. A CHGO event where CHGO Cubs and CHGO Bears combine. We take all of the diehards to the Egg Harbor Cafe in Arlington Heights. Mike Tauchman joins us. We talk a little Cubs. We do a show from the Egg Harbor Cafe. Then we jump on the train right outside the Egg Harbor Cafe. We take it one stop up, and we watch them tear down Arlington Park with the CHGO Bears guys.
Maybe.
I'm in.
Ryan doesn't seem that excited about it.
Sounds good to me.
Deal, Stucky. Gary's in. See? I got one already.
Well, I was looking up Mike Tauchman's stats as you were talking about that, but in the NL, hitters with at least 100 plate appearances, Mike Tauchman's on base percentage is 4th with 407 behind Luis Arias, Lamont Wade Jr., and Juan Soto.
To be on a list with, I laugh because you said
I'm
Luis
sorry.
Arias.
Tied with
but,
Will
like,
Smith ahead of
like-
Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's crazy.
Like
That should be our graphic. Don't let the facts get in the way.
Like
Well, those
he's-
are facts, though.
Yeah,
He's-
those are
Those are facts.
he's been
Don't let the details get in the way of a good story either.
He's been
Yeah.
very good at doing what the Cubs have asked him to do since he
Right.
got brought up, especially since he got moved to the leadoff spot. And it feels like and he even said it himself the other day, kind of asked about it, and he's like, with leading off, it's like you lead off once a game, and then the rest of the game, it's kind of nothing changes, which is fair. But if you're the leadoff hitter, you're going to get the most plate appearances on the team. You'll get the most plate appearances on the team, and he's doing a good job in that role and doing what the Cubs could have, more than what they could have asked for a fill-in guy going. I've liked to see what Mike Tauchman's done. Defensively, he's filled in fine.
He had a nice catch tonight, too.
Yeah, he's getting on base at a good clip. He hit 2 home runs in 3 games now. Like, so a little bit of a power stroke there.
3 days.
Like, there's a reason, again, that he's played his way into, like, legitimate major league plans now.
Yeah.
Like, he came up as a fill-in for Bellinger And he played his way into a guy that wasn't going to get optioned back to AAA when Bellinger was ready to come back.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to put it.
JD and Marquis, Gerard saying Jim DeShays was calling him the Palatine Pounder. I know we like to think he stole it from us, but I think actually we all.
I want to say it's Pat Hughes.
Pat Hughes was the first one to say it that I know of, so I think we all stole it from Pat Hughes. Now,
You
Frem
stole it, I didn't
Phenom is an
steal it.
original, CHGO original.
Yes.
Bambino of the Burbs, again, original and copyrighted.
Yeah, can't steal it. Must credit us. However,
credit. Talk
and
him.
credit to us. Talk to me or talk. What did Justin Steele tweet?
He was talk to me, right?
Talk to me. We did tweet that tonight, and I CC'd Justin Steele, so we didn't steal it from him. All right. Credit to us.
I
credit
think
to me for
if
tweeting.
we do a new shirt,
credit
if we
me.
do a Tauchman shirt, it should be "Talk Dirty to Me."
Ooh.
Oh, God.
What do you think? Look
And
at
he could
Bragg.
be- and he
Did you
could be
see Bragg's
singing like
perk up
he's-
to that?
I like
Bragg
it.
was like,
And
"Oh, I like
And he
that."
could be
Right.
singing like
Smart.
he's
I like
Jason
it.
Derulo or something like that. Because he has that song. No one thinks that's funny? Okay, that's fine.
No. Oh wait, Stroman just tweeted about Barnhart.
Oh, we got to go see it.
Just to go full circle on that, before we get to who you got,
He said Tucker
Again-
Barnhart is masterful behind the dish. Sorry. There you go.
I'm saying you've got to give him some of the credit. Has he caught Stroman every game?
I don't.
He's
Lately,
sort-
for sure.
Every
He's
game
certainly
lately, for sure.
like we talked about the June stats, how he's 4-0, 4 quality starts, 7 straight quality starts, 14 quality starts this season. I'm going to suggest the majority of those, if not all of them, are Barnhart. The catcher's got to get some credit.
Yeah.
I listen. I know if Cy Young's out there and he's throwing to Ryan, he's still probably pretty good. But if the catcher's calling some
I
of
was
the
an
pitches,
all-state bullpen catcher.
there you go.
Self-proclaimed.
You've got to
Self-proclaimed.
you've got to give the guy some credit for his connection with the pitcher, especially when you know that that's one of the main reasons the guy's even on the team. So for all the times that people have complained about this guy can't hit, DFA him, why is he here? You're looking at one of the reasons why he's here. He's not here for the bat. He's not here for the home run that he hit tonight.
No.
He's here for helping guys like Marcus Stroman be his best version of
It's something
himself.
that David Ross talks about a lot, and he was that, right? He caught for John Lester, and that was kind of
that's Ross's career.
Towards the end of his career, like that was his job, was catching John Lester and making sure John Lester, at pretty much every game, was kind of going out there and pitching like the best John Lester he could. Like David Ross played a part in that, and again, there was a reason why when the Cubs signed John Lester, like David Ross came along too, right? And obviously, when David Ross retired, Lester had to find a new catcher. But you know, the 2 years with the Cubs, it was Lester and Ross, and that was Ross's role, and he played it well, and he worked well with John Lester. And like we were talking about on the couch, if it gets to a point where it's Barnhart catching for Stroman, he's his personal catcher for the rest of the year, and Gomes and Amaya are behind the dish for the rest of the games, like I think you live with that because obviously the DH helps with getting Amaya into a lineup without needing him to be behind the plate, and same with Gomes. And you know, Barnhart, maybe the bat wakes up a little bit more. He can provide you a little bit more than I think. Corey likes to talk about his WRC plus in terms of like 2019 Lester. I haven't looked. It may have gotten over there this game. I'm not sure. But if it gets to a point where it's like he's catching Stroman and that's like it for every 5 days, like that it's not the worst thing in the world because Tucker has worked so well with Stroman.
And I understand the skepticism. Craig in the chat's like, yeah, he'd be pitching this well no matter who the catcher was. But Niren had a great tweet. He digs up the stats. So his ERA, 2.28. It's the best in the National League. Okay, not arguing with that. But it's 1.84 with Barnhart behind the plate.
What is it with Gomes?
It's better.
Okay.
So, 1.84 is better. If it's 2.28, it's got to be better.
I agree with everything you guys said. I think the only reason that a lot of fans or whoever get upset when they see Barnhart in the lineup is because for like especially the month of May and even parts of April probably, we saw the lineup with Mastroboni, Barnhart, and Madrigal, all three in the lineup at one time, or a combination of Barnhart, Mastroboni, and Mancini when he was struggling. Like, just like there have been a lot of lineups where we've sat here and questioned and wondered, what are we doing? This isn't serious. And tonight, the lineup was good, and you had Barnhart at the bottom, and that's fine. Like we didn't complain about the lineup. No one on social media was complaining about the lineup in my mentions. Like, I think that's the thing is, like, as long as you're putting out a competitive lineup with guys who are hitting right now, then, like, to me, that's the thing.
Niren says it's even better than that because that was before today when he went 7 shutout innings.
So, yeah,
what you're saying, too, like the comparison people are saying, David Ross, we mentioned David Ross had his own guy with Lester. To be totally fair and apples to apples, the difference there is that offense could afford to have David Ross be the catcher.
Yeah.
Sometimes this offense can't afford to have Barnhart be the guy catching and
well, it's
hitting.
not like people were big fans of David Ross in 2015, from my own memory. Like, everyone knew he was Lester's personal catcher.
He wasn't.
Fine.
There was no legend of David Ross. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Eventually,
if you look
Eventually
at David Ross's career numbers, he had one of his best offensive seasons in 2016. So, like, he was at least a little bit more productive offensively in 2016, but he wasn't doing a lot of that in 2015. So I'm just saying that, like, yes, I agree. He is showing what he brings to the table as far as being Stroh's guy and the defense and the framing. I already gave him credit for that, obviously, for who you got tonight. Would I like there to be a little bit more offense?
Yeah.
I think in some aspect, yes, and I think that's fair considering
I think he
this is
hoped
the
there'd be
majors.
more offense this year.
But again, my biggest thing has always been whenever you do play him, there have been times where it's him and Mastroboni and another guy who's also struggling, and it's like your bottom three of the lineup is like woof, right? So if you put a lineup out like you did tonight, where you know the hitter above him was Madrigal, and like I said at the beginning of the show, I gave him credit. Like he had a good night. Like, in the other guys in the lineup tonight had a good night. Like, they in general over the stretch, a lot of guys have been hitting. Like, as long as it doesn't get to the point where as long as it doesn't get to a point where everyone's not hitting in the lineup and you're playing him, and that's highlighting certain points, I think that's fine. And again, I know that isn't going to be a major point anyway, but as long as you're putting out competitive lineups, I think that's the thing. Is like when David Ross puts out competitive lineups with at least 8 of the 9 guys, if your 9th guy is Barnhart, you got to put out guys who are hitting well and, like, it makes sense and all this stuff. Like,
Does he get credit for putting Tauchman in the leadoff spot?
Yeah,
I think so, for
absolutely.
Does he get?
Because on day one of it, people were like, "What are we doing?"
People were all over the place.
Yeah.
People come, this isn't a serious lineup, and then they won like 2 games with it, and everybody's like,
What?
I think when you look at that, it's like David Ross got a lot of criticism. I might have said this on a recent show. David Ross got a lot of criticism for some of the buttons. You know, he was pushing the levers, he was pulling earlier in the season when the execution didn't work. Like, even if the idea behind it was sound, if it didn't work, he got a lot of criticism for it.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten to a point where, like, a lot of the buttons he's pushed, a lot of the levers he's pulled, the last few weeks, especially during this, last 11 games, those are starting to work out more often than not.
ALLCITY,
Tauchman,
We
talking
talked
top
about
of
the
the lineup.
bullpen
Like,
last night. Yeah.
The things he's doing, I don't think his decision making is any really that much different than it was earlier in the season. It's just like the players are executing. I think that's one of the things we kept saying earlier in the season. Like, Ross can only do so much as the manager. Like, the players have to execute at some point. And now these last, was it 9 out of 11? Like, for the most part, the last couple of weeks, the players have started to execute at a pretty high level, in that the decisions that were costing them games earlier in the season are leading to more wins now. So I think obviously you give players some credit for that, for stepping up and starting to contribute like they should have. But obviously it's Ross. I think he's making those decisions too, and they're just kind of, the execution is there now.
I think there's something to be said too about managing teams that are actually trying to win, as opposed to managing a team that's in a full-on tank and you're trying to pull those levers and make those moves. Well, what
when
point?
you trade away the whole bullpen.
Right, but now this year you're in a competitive year. thanks to the
He's made
division being
mistakes.
so
Don't
bad.
get me wrong.
Yeah,
We
of
all know
course.
he's made some mistakes, but what manager doesn't make mistakes?
Yeah.
So let's just.
Things are starting to turn around for Dave Ross, and of course we say that as the Cubs have won 9 of 11, right? Like,
He has to
and
get
this
some
is why
credit.
I've never he's definitely deserved some criticism. I've ranted about certain moves. Never forget the Hosmer bunt, the Wisdom bunt. There's been some moves where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
There's been very fair
But-
criticisms to be had about David Ross this season.
But I
That's at
do
points.
think one thing that we haven't talked a ton about over this stretch is at the beginning of it, they went to San Francisco after getting swept by the Angels, and David Ross had like the players only meeting or whatever and said, hey, we got to get things going.
I don't think there was ever a players only meeting. I think it was just like in their regular meetings that they have prior to games. Like he kind of
whatever. They had some
really
sort of
spoke
meeting,
up.
right?
I think it was just a regular meeting, but there was like a little bit more of like a message given in that.
All right.
meeting.
Well, the players answered the call
Yeah.
either way. Again, it was set on marquee, and I took it to heart. All right.
I don't know if it was a players only meeting, but I think
They
there
were
was
they were the worst team in the National League, and the players didn't quit.
right.
Some of that is the manager's job to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm just
They
saying the
answered the call,
Tauchman
like I
thing.
said.
Yeah,
the
no, they
Tauchman
did.
thing is not something I would have considered early in the season. Let's bat Mike Tauchman leadoff and put him in center field. It's been one of the key moves they've had in turning this around and
in a
winning
month,
9 of 11.
in like a month. Like it's been
So, you're 3 under. You got a chance to sweep tomorrow and move to 2 under. And then you got a few days off. You got to go to London, hopefully at least win one of the 2 against St. Louis. And then you got the Phillies coming up. Well, I know they got to play Milwaukee.
Guardians. I think it's Phillies, Guardians, Milwaukee. something
Yeah,
like
and
that, right?
the Phillies are playing well right now. The Guardians they're just kind of whatever. And Milwaukee right now, at least they haven't been playing well. So there's a lot of games there they can win. But either way, if they keep playing the way that they have over the last 11, they just took 2 or 3 against Baltimore. They won 2 or 3 in San Francisco, a team that's been red hot.
Yeah.
They have shown, and we joked about it because it looked like the team was going backwards, but they've shown that they can play with good teams. So just
Just bunt less.
bunt less with guys who have power. I'm going to use the term of our good friend David Kaplan, one game at a time or whatever his saying is.
One pitch,
One pitch.
one batter, one
One
pitch,
bat-
one
yeah.
out,
Whatever.
one game at a time. He
Love
stole
you,
that
Cap.
though
One
from somebody.
take- one
he
take
stole that
that
from
at a
the
time.
football.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
one
Either way,
snap,
but
one.
that's kind of how
Game
it
of
has.
inches.
That's the
Yeah,
kind
he
of
stole
that's
it.
kind of the best way to look at it, though. Again, things are good right now. They won 9-11, but they got to get to 500. They can't win this one and then fall off tomorrow, or win tomorrow and then lose 2 against St. Louis. They got to get to 500. They got to get to 500 before the All-Star break. And the sooner they get to 500, the better, or the more they are able to ascend from there. Because that, to me, I'm back in, but for me to really buy in on maybe even going to the playoffs, they gotta get further than that, obviously. So, again, credit to them for crawling back in and answering the call. But
Stay in the
there's
fight, is
a
what
lot,
Dansby
there's a lot
Swanson
of games left and a lot of games that matter. So you got to just keep playing well.
We're at an hour and 10 minutes, and we still have almost 200 people hanging out with us. So that's pretty fun.
That's sick.
Only 113 likes, so let's get that closer to 200. I think we should do a Cap-like shirt. Since Cap stole it, now we steal it, and we do 1 win, 1 beer bat, 1 vibe at a time.
Ooh.
I like it. I think you just caught on. I think you just struck gold.
Would you buy that in the
Stucky.
chat? Would you buy that shirt? Would you buy that shirt? Huh, Sparkles? 117.
Yeah.
117. All right, so yeah, Barnhart
Barnhart
was
went
your
to
guy
you got.
tonight for who you got.
He wins.
Even though I had Tauchman, I'm a man of integrity.
Oh.
Your guy was
Integrity.
unexpected. My guy's become a superstar in the league. Your guy,
My guy scored. My guy
He had a better
got
game.
the
well,
winning run.
your guy had the winning run, and
He
had a
walked.
walk, and he caught Stroman.
Yeah.
For me, the Stroman thing gives.
Your guy just hit a homer.
He had an objectively.
But it was nice.
He had
It
an
was nice.
He had an objectively better game than Tauchman.
Biggie Luke, thanks, Brent. I'm a man of integrity.
Integrity would have given me
And
that
I
win
still
on
lead with
Thursday
20
for
wins.
integrity.
Well, no. I
Come on.
followed the same rules that we did. Braggs said I won. Cody said I won. I won. Why? Because it was the game-winning hit.
Yeah, but the chat didn't agree.
He had the game-winning hit.
You
My
did.
home run was
didn't-
not the game-winning hit.
I didn't say he won because of the game-winning hit. He had an objectively better game than Mike Tauchman.
Well, with a walk, and he
He was 1 for
And he
3
caught
with a home
Stroman.
run
and
and
he
a
caught
walk.
Stroman.
He had
There
a
are
bet-
multiple factors, but the first one for me is that it was the
Struck out
game-winning hit. The homer was the game-winning.
That wasn't the factor for me. Anyway,
Our friend Madrigal supporter is in the chat, and he keeps putting his name in caps and says that we haven't mentioned him, and that's not true. We have mentioned
Madrigal
Madrigal.
supporter,
I gave him
Madrigal,
a lot
Madrigal.
of
He got
credit
hit by a
before I did the
pitch.
first beer bat.
He got hit by a
right.
pitch.
He hit a ball to the wall that would have been out in 24 different
Almost
ballparks.
charged
You
the
did say
mound
that,
last
actually.
night.
I
I
know
did
where-
say that.
I don't know where Nick
did
Madrigal's
say that.
supporter was,
All right?
but-
I gave him credit where credit is due. Now just keep doing it. Keep hitting the ball hard. That's 2 days in a row. He's hit line drives. All right.
Yep.
And he did
got
make
it
an
out
out
of the
tonight
dirt,
on a line
over
drive,
the
too.
grass, into the next set of dirt.
I that's all I want. If we're gonna play him, I just want line drives, dude.
just line drives.
I ain't buying in until I see it for like a good month, though. But hey, great game tonight.
Oh wow, 126. We like it now. 2 thumbs down. Somebody came back. Another thumbs down. They didn't like the idea of the T-shirt. Is
Maybe
probably caps.
maybe it's like a fat finger, like a slip of the
Could be
you're
it.
trying to hit the like
Finger
you
slip,
accidentally-
probably.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. No, that makes more
That's
sense.
what it is.
Why would anyone downvote our show?
Listen, any thumbs down
2 thumbs
is
down.
a middle finger to the Godfather, Michael Collado.
True.
Because he always says.
Maybe
give
it's
us
the
a thumbs
person
Alright.
who tweeted that they
Let's go.
said they'd buy
Please.
tickets for someone.
70 minutes.
We got to go home.
See the
If
one
Barnhart
one
hit a
thumb
homer.
down went
130.
away.
130. Got rid of one.
That's what I'm talking. It was a slip
Beautiful.
of the finger.
Wow.
Beautiful.
All right.
Morning show tomorrow for pregame. No pregame tomorrow, just a postgame show.
That's
Thanks.
not
No,
true.
no,
no,
you
we
have
have
pregame
pregame
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, we do have pregame. That's right.
I'm
Corey
gonna be,
will be
I'm
in.
gonna
I just
You
won't be
don't
here.
have
I just
pregame.
won't be here for it, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah, Corey's in for Luke tomorrow. He's
Pregame
gonna sit
at what?
in Luke's
11,
seat.
11 pregame? Yeah, 11 a.m.
o'clock-
pregame.
11 a.m. pregame. We'll be
Join
right
us.
here.
Hopefully, an update on Dansby Swanson
Dansby.
and Cody Heuer.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Big Cubs win 4-0 over the Pirates. They go for the sweep tomorrow. Vibe with us right here on the pregame show tomorrow. The CHGO Cubs podcast. Thanks for checking us out. The #1 rated baseball podcast in the universe.
Don't let the facts
Some are saying.
Get in the way of a good story. Some are saying.
Some
We
are
just got
saying.
another thumbs down because of that.
Some are saying.
Until the pregame show tomorrow, fly the W.